Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Tuesday, March the 20th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. If you have any questions for me, you can use this email address right here. This is a free room. This is a link to get into our free room. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to participate in our room. And this is a subscription link. There's a 15% instant discount with the promo code that is there. I typically open the room just around 9 o'clock Eastern Time every morning. That's when I start to share my screen. I get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go to 3:30 Monday to Thursday and 3 o'clock on Fridays. All right, well, I haven't had a day like this for a long time, literally. There was a couple of trades. One trade I did on my own that made some money, but other than that, just got chopped out of, little manageable losses on virtually everything that I tried today. This is one hair. Let me expand this a little bit. It's actually a Holly alert at 794. If you take a look at the daily chart, you can see that if you look left, it has some room all the way out here. Once it crossed 8, right? There's I think 795 right there. A high, yeah, 795 is the high right there. So once it crossed 8, it looked like it had, some room, obviously, to get up to maybe the 10 level. I'm not saying that it would happen today, and again, I always say this, it may not happen ever. But at least you don't have to worry about, resistance on the chart blocking it from that. Anyway, what happened is, let's get back to the 15-minute time. So Holly, this was the alert at 794. Kind of watched it for a bit to see what it would do. It looked like it was holding 8. I got into the trade at 8:05, right about here. It actually popped up to 8:20, but I was, holding on for a lot more. And it came right down, and then and this was a bit of a spready one. There were times where it looked like it was 8:05 on the bid, 8:20 on the ask. So it's tough to commit. People are, if you want to take that stock, you've got to take it at 8:20. You're already down 15 cents. So, I think it's tough to get it going. And the minute I saw that bid drop to 8, I got out. And that was very fortuitous because look what it did right after, all the way down to 736. So I say I only took a nickel loss on it, but it was just because I was watching that bid and ask, and it just, people ask me, do I look at the level 2? The only time I really look at it, I'm looking really at the time and sales, and if I see the spread between the bid and the ask starting to widen, that's when I get a little bit nervous. And the minute it touched 8, I thought, you know what, I can always get back in. That was my thought. I could always get back into this trade if the spread tightens and it wants to start to move. Anyway, so got out of that one. The same thing with the KTOS. It looked pretty good. It popped over $10. Again, if you take a look at it on a daily chart, you'll see that there's there's some room. It had a interesting day yesterday. It wasn't earnings, but you see, look at that. There's a bottoming tail, a topping tail. So a lot of uncertainty. But when it broke through 10 earlier this morning, it looked like it was going to have some legs in it. So I took this trade right about 10:09. So 10:09, right about here. And the same thing, it started getting spready again, and for a $10 stock, you'd like to see, I don't want to see more than about maybe a 5-cent spread, 4 or 5 cent spread. When it starts to get 8 to 10 cents on a $10 stock, to me that's just getting to be too much. And so really, I just didn't like the way it was trading. Got in at 10:09, got out at 10:04. So another nickel on that one. TAL was very challenging for me. I got in, I don't want to bore you, but I got into this one twice. Again, a little bit choppy, just you like to don't want to see all these bottoming tails and topping tails when you're in a 15-minute chart. Without getting too involved, I got in at 41.20 up here. It actually popped up to 41.30. I was looking for more. This is an all-time high. Thought it might have a nice, multi-dollar run in it. It was already up. Let's not forget the fact that it was already up. Anyway, took a 2 cent loss on it, and I did the same thing. I got in here at 41.40, up in this area right there. It actually popped all the way up here. I was, I probably should have taken some out. I didn't, and I got out at 41.38 for another 2 cent loss on this one. So, just kind of got chopped around a little bit today. Now, here's one that you might want to keep an eye on. I'm going to try to have really a good patience on this one. So this is the IPO that happened on Friday. This is the one that I did very, very well on. Actually held it over the weekend and got out yesterday. But I got in at 28.14 and on Friday and it hit 33. So I mean that worked out very well. What I'm looking at is if it can take out the high of yesterday. So today's Tuesday, so that is Monday's high. So I have an alert set here. Again, this is an IPO, so we don't obviously have a lot of historical data to go on. But I think if it can take this out, it might give people confidence that it could take a challenge at this high and continue on. So that's all I'm waiting for. It's funny because I almost took. You see how it got up to. Hard to see right there. I think it got up to 30.55. When it broke over 30, yep. When it broke over 30, I was thinking, should I take it? Should I take it? And I just basically thought that it could chop around a lot in this area. And I don't mind giving up, a dollar or so, because if it takes this out, I think, I could say the same thing. It could chop in this area. I just think if you put in another green candle on the daily, people might forget about this. So anyway, that's just something to keep an eye on. You might want to put an alert around 31.50 on this. All right, well, that's a very quick one. Say a very strange day for me. Not a lot of earnings today. I can tell you that these are the ones that are down and very just small names other than Oracle, and this is the one that's up. And it's not a instantly recognizable name. So all I'm saying is that not a lot of earnings plays. So consequently, and this week there were only about 260 companies releasing earnings in total. Last week there were 360, not a huge number, but we certainly had a lot more to pick from. And why we like to see that is that it just gives, when a company releases earnings, typically they're in play all day, a lot of action, and so now without a lot of those earnings plays, you have to find other stocks that have news on their own. And I'm not saying there aren't any, of course there are, but it just makes it a little easier when you have a lot of earnings plays to choose from. Anyway, that is about it. So let me just bring back my capture program. So if you have any questions for me, this is the email address you can use. This is the link for the free trading room. This is a link for a subscription, 15% off instantly, either on a monthly. If you take a monthly, it's the first month only. Of course, if you take it on annual, it's for the whole year. I'll open the room tomorrow at about 9 o'clock Eastern. I'll get live on the mic at 9:05. So I hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.